So when you're cruising along in your entrepreneur life, feeling like a badass, and it's at that point that you've got to check yourself because confidence can quickly turn into arrogance. And that's when shit goes sideways. Welcome to the Spinoso Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Alex Spinoso. My experience and expertise is in scaling all types of medical businesses to 7, 8, and even 9 figures. This isn't a podcast telling you you should do this. I'm just telling you how I did this. I want to help you build your business, take ownership of your life, and become a better leader at home and at work. So let's get real for a second. As entrepreneurs, we all want to win. We want to crush it in business, be the best, take home the biggest checks, and drive off into the sunset in whatever car suits your fancy. Whether it's a Ferrari, a Lambo, or if you're a dad like me, maybe it's just a damn good SUV that gets your kids to Spanish school on time. But here's the thing. Winning in business isn't just about confidence. Yeah, you need confidence, but you need some damn swag. You need to walk into a room knowing that you are the baddest motherfucker in there. You need to say, I got to this place because I am that good. But, and this is a big but, if you don't balance that confidence with a little thing called humility, you're going to crash and burn faster than a one-hit wonder boy band from the 1990s. That's right. Entrepreneurs who are all confidence and no humility, they're like a walking version of a Nickelback song. They might sell a few records, but eventually everyone gets fucking tired of them and starts to make fun of them, even though Nickelback is amazing. So today, we're going to talk about how to balance confidence and humility, because the truth is both are absolutely necessary. First, let's start with confidence. Confidence is the fuel that keeps the engine going. It's what makes you wake up every morning and say, I'm gonna burn this motherfucker down today. Confidence is also what makes you take risks. It's what made you start your business in the first place, right? When everyone else was saying, that's crazy, that'll never work, why can't you be happy? You had the balls to say, watch me. You had the balls to say, watch me. In my own business journey, I got to where I am because I believed I had the ability to build something great. There was no half-assed, I'll give this a shot. No, it was, I'm building something amazing and no one can stop me. I remember when I built my first 7-figure business, I thought to myself, hell yeah, I got here because I had the guts, the grind, and worked hard to develop the skills. And you need to remind yourself of that too. You did get to where you are because you have drive, and you have that special quality of figuring things out, no matter how hard it is or how long it takes. You know what? It's okay to fucking own that. You've got to believe in yourself, because if you don't, no one else is going to. But here's where things get tricky. So when you're cruising along in your entrepreneur life, feeling like a badass, thinking you're the next Tony Stark, without the billion-dollar suit of armor, of course, and it's at that point that you've got to check yourself, because confidence can quickly turn into arrogance. And that's when shit goes sideways. Here's where humility comes in. Humility is knowing that, yeah, you've got some real fine qualities and real great work ethic, and you've developed some really badass skills. But guess what? You also have a bunch of character flaws, bad habits, and moments where you make decisions that are dumber than going to a marriage seminar hosted by a twice-divorced narcissist. Here's the truth. You got to where you are in spite of those things. Truth be told, when I started out, I made a ton of mistakes. And not just little ones either. I'm talking monumental fuck-ups. I let the wrong people into my company because I was naive and didn't do my due diligence. I didn't seriously consider the red flags I saw in their character. I didn't listen to my team because I thought I knew everything. I sometimes ran people over who were legitimately pushing back on my plans. I shut down people who offered wise feedback that I just didn't want to hear. I ignored warning signs that our business plan needed adjusting because, well, I was convinced I was invincible. But guess what? I survived those mistakes in spite of my own flaws. And you know why? Because I had people around me who helped me pick up the pieces. I had mentors who pulled me aside and said, hey, maybe don't do that again. I had a wife who kept me grounded and reminded me that my head wasn't that far in the clouds. And that's where humility comes in. Humility is the voice in the back of your head that says, hey man, you didn't get here alone. Yeah, you worked hard. Yeah, you're smart. But don't kid yourself. You also had help. You had a team. You had mentors. You had people who believed in you even when you were acting like a fool. Humility is knowing that you're good, but you're not invincible. And you need other people to succeed. So how do you balance those two? How do you have the confidence to walk into a room and say, I'm the best, while also having the humility to say, but I didn't get here on my own? It's like this. You need to have just enough swag to keep moving forward, but just enough humility to not be a self-obsessed dumb fuck. You can be confident. You should be confident, but at the same time, recognize that you've got flaws. You've made mistakes. You've made some bad calls, and you're probably going to make more. And that's okay. That's what humility is for. It keeps you grounded so that when you screw up, you can acknowledge it, learn from it, and move on. Confidence gets you in the door. Humility keeps you from slamming it on your own foot. It's like that scene from Iron Man where Tony Stark struts into a press conference and announces, I am Iron Man. Total confidence, right? But later in the Avengers movies, we see Tony grapple with the consequences of his decisions. He realizes he's made some colossal mistakes and that he can't save the world alone. He needs Captain America. He needs the Hulk. He needs Black Widow. He's even humble enough to enlist the help of Spider-Man, who is basically just a teenage kid. That's the balance. You've got to have the confidence to say, I'm here because I'm a badass. But the humility to say, and I've made it this far in spite of some pretty dumb mistakes. So as you move forward in your entrepreneurial journey, I want you to remember this. You've got to balance confidence with humility. You've got to be full of swag without being self-obsessed. It's like that quote from Rocky Balboa. It ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Confidence is knowing you can hit hard. Humility is knowing that you're going to take some hits too, and you'll need other people to help you get back up. So go out there and kick ass, but stay humble enough to recognize when you need a hand. That's how you win.